Grooming for the stage, a hairy dilemma. In the world of competitive bodybuilding, the spotlight not only shines on the sculpted muscles and rigorous training but also on every detail of physical presentation. One of the most debated aspects among competitors, especially those who naturally possess a fuller coat of body hair, is grooming. For many hairy bodybuilders, the stage becomes a battleground where tradition clashes with individuality. The conventional wisdom in bodybuilding has long held that a smooth, hairless physique accentuates muscle definition and gives an overall, clean aesthetic. However, as attitudes evolve and the celebration of natural diversity becomes more prominent, the choice to remove or embrace body hair remains a deeply personal, and sometimes contentious, dilemma. The traditional aesthetic. For decades, the bodybuilding stage has been dominated by a singular aesthetic, rippling muscles showcased against a backdrop of meticulously groomed, hairless skin. The logic behind this practice is straightforward. Without body hair, the muscle contours are more visible, the lines are sharper, and the overall presentation is deemed more polished under the stage lights. This convention has its roots in the early days of competitive bodybuilding when athletes like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frank Zane set a standard that many have tried to emulate. In these early competitions, every detail mattered. Coaches and athletes meticulously planned every aspect of their appearance, from the perfect tan to the removal of even the slightest hair, to ensure that nothing detracted from the visual impact of their physique. For many competitors, adhering to these standards isn't merely about aesthetics, it's a strategic decision. In a sport where minute differences can influence judges' scores, the belief that body hair can obscure muscle definition or create visual distractions leads many to opt for extensive hair removal procedures. Techniques such as shaving, waxing, and even laser hair removal have become routine parts of the pre-competition regimen, each carrying its own set of challenges and consequences. The physical and emotional toll of grooming. The process of hair removal is rarely as simple as it might seem. For hairy bodybuilders, the daily rituals of shaving or the painful sessions of waxing are not just about removing hair, they are part of a broader commitment to conforming to a competitive ideal that has been ingrained over decades. Shaving, while effective, requires precision and regular maintenance. A single missed spot or a stubble can detract from an otherwise flawless presentation, leading to anxiety and stress in the days leading up to a competition. Waxing, on the other hand, offers a longer-lasting solution but comes with its own set of drawbacks. The pain associated with waxing, particularly over large areas of the body, is significant. Moreover, repeated waxing can lead to skin irritation, ingrown hairs, and even infections, adding another layer of complication to an already demanding pre-competition schedule. Some bodybuilders have turned to laser hair removal, a method that promises a more permanent reduction in hair growth, as a long-term solution. However, this method is not without its risks, including skin sensitivity, potential scarring, and a high financial cost that not every competitor can afford. Beyond the physical discomfort, there is also an emotional dimension to consider. Many athletes feel a strong connection to their natural appearance, including their body hair, as a part of their identity. The decision to remove hair for the stage can evoke feelings of loss, a compromise of their true selves in favor of an ideal that may not resonate with their personal identity. This internal conflict is compounded by the scrutiny that comes from the public and the media, where every physical detail is analyzed, critiqued, and sometimes celebrated. The debate, conformity versus authenticity. At the heart of the grooming dilemma is a broader debate about conformity versus authenticity. The traditional expectations of a smooth, hairless body have been a cornerstone of bodybuilding culture for so long that deviating from this norm can feel like a rebellious act. Some bodybuilders argue that embracing their natural body hair is a statement of authenticity, a refusal to sacrifice personal identity for the sake of an outdated aesthetic standard. They assert that true strength and beauty lie in individuality, and that the presence of body hair can, in fact, add to the uniqueness of one's stage presence. On the other side of the argument, purists maintain that the removal of body hair is essential for showcasing the meticulous hard work that goes into sculpting the perfect physique. They point out that the clarity of muscle definition, the seamless flow of muscle lines, and the overall polished look are all enhanced by a hairless presentation. For these competitors, grooming is not just an accessory to their training, it is a vital component of their performance strategy. The act of hair removal becomes a ritualistic sacrifice, an offering to the standards of excellence that have defined the sport for generations. Personal stories and experiences. The conflict between these two viewpoints is often reflected in the personal journeys of individual bodybuilders. Consider the story of Marcus, a competitive bodybuilder who has sported a natural, hairy look throughout his career. Marcus grew up in a community where body hair was seen as a sign of masculinity and strength. When he first entered the competitive arena, he was advised by many coaches to shave it all off, to conform to the prevailing aesthetic standards. After much deliberation, Marcus decided to take a different path. He embraced his natural appearance, carefully crafting his routine to highlight both his muscular definition and his natural hair. His choice was met with mixed reactions, praise for his authenticity from some quarters, and criticism from others who believed he was compromising on the traditional look. Marcus's experience encapsulates the duality of the grooming dilemma, the internal conflict between staying true to oneself and the pressure to conform to an external ideal. Then there is the story of Kevin, a bodybuilder who chose the opposite route. For Kevin, the stage was a place where perfection was non-negotiable, and that meant meticulously removing every trace of body hair. He experimented with various hair removal methods over the years, from daily shaving routines to monthly waxing sessions, and eventually, laser hair removal. Despite the pain, cost, and occasional skin irritation, Kevin found solace in the smooth, defined look that his grooming regimen provided. For him, the sacrifices were worth the clarity it brought to his muscular presentation. Yet, even Kevin has moments of reflection, times when he wonders if the relentless pursuit of a flawless stage appearance is worth the personal toll it takes, both physically and mentally. The influence of social media and evolving standards. In recent years, the rise of social media has begun to shift the conversation around grooming in bodybuilding. Platforms like Instagram and YouTube have given bodybuilders a direct line to their audiences, allowing them to share their personal routines, struggles, and triumphs in unprecedented detail. Many athletes have used these platforms to challenge the conventional wisdom of a hairless stage, showcasing a diverse array of grooming styles that emphasize authenticity over conformity. The visibility of these alternative approaches is slowly eroding the rigid standards that have long defined the sport. Moreover, the growing movement towards body positivity and inclusivity has had a significant impact on the grooming debate. Advocates argue that true beauty in bodybuilding lies in the celebration of natural diversity. They contend that every individual should have the freedom to decide how they want to present themselves on stage, without being forced to adhere to a narrow definition of perfection. This perspective has resonated with a new generation of bodybuilders who see their natural features, not despite them, but as integral to their identity and strength. Navigating the dilemma, finding a personal balance. For many hairy bodybuilders, the decision to groom or not to groom is not an all-or-nothing proposition. It is a nuanced, deeply personal choice that involves balancing the demands of competitive presentation with an honest expression of self. Some athletes have adopted a middle ground approach, opting for selective grooming that enhances their muscle definition without completely erasing their natural hair. For instance, they might choose to remove hair from the chest and abdomen, areas where muscle definition is most critical, while leaving hair on the arms and legs. This compromise allows them to achieve a refined look on stage while still retaining elements of their natural appearance. Others have found that timing is crucial. By adjusting their grooming routines based on the competition calendar, they can enjoy periods of natural growth and self-expression during training cycles, followed by more intensive grooming just before the stage. This cyclical approach not only alleviates some of the emotional strain but also helps manage the physical toll that continuous hair removal can impose on the skin. Ultimately, the key lies in understanding that there is no one-size-fits-all solution. Each bodybuilder must navigate their own unique set of challenges and priorities. The decision to remove or retain body hair is influenced by a myriad of factors: personal aesthetics, competitive strategies, cultural background, and even the evolution of societal norms. In this light, grooming becomes less about adhering to an external standard and more about crafting an image that authentically represents one's journey, values,